The Murfreesboro Engineering Department is located at 111 West Vine Street on the second floor of City Hall. The purpose of the department is to manage the construction of the built environment in the city with the goal of providing citizens with good, safe streets and storm drainage that functions well. Head of the engineering department is City Engineer Chris Griffith.
We really, our primary goals are to manage the roadway system for the City of Murfreesboro and the drainage system. And we do that in a variety of ways, and also on the private side, manage the construction of, say, private sites, new commercial areas, apartment complexes, all the way to home sites. And we do that just by a myriad of methods, including anything as small as looking at a fence that you're going to put up in your backyard, see if that affects any of the drainage in your area, all the way to larger things such as oversaw the construction of the Amazon Fulfillment Center. So it's a neat place to work. It challenges every day. We manage a very aggressive capital improvement program for the city. Our primary goals are our primary focus is on our roadway system. Obviously, you can experience the type of growth that we have over the last 20 years, and not feel some of the pains of it. And most of that is in our traffic system and our roadway system. I like to tell people, and I don't have any information to back this up. I've not done the research, but I like to tell people that we're the second biggest road builder in the state of Tennessee, and only behind the Tennessee Department of Transportation. And no one's disputed me on that yet, so I feel like I'm in pretty good shape with it. We built a lot of roads. We've built a lot of roads for the 10, 11 years that I've been here, and we're going to continue to do that, because that's really the two biggest complaints, the two biggest needs, if you will, that we see of the city is a ever better, ever improving transportation system, and then also a good drainage system to make sure that water gets off into the streams and into the rivers. Got several big projects coming up. We've done everything from a couple $100,000, just the addition of a turn lane at an intersection if we see that can be needed, all the way up to our largest project that we've ever undertaken, at least since I've been with the city, is a $10.8 million construction of Jobi Jackson Parkway. Part of that's an improvement of an existing road system, and part of it's actually an extension. It'll be from I-24 to US 231. It'll basically connect us, have another connection to the interstate system, which is always very valuable to us. It'll, as I mentioned, it'll go from Church Street over to I-24, 3-lane section through the residential area there, and then we're going to build what I believe will be the longest bridge in Rutherford County, which will actually extend over the CSX Railroad, and then also over the Stones River at that location, and then connecting through open land, connecting there to the interchange, existing interchange at Jobi Jackson and I-24. It's an exciting project. We're doing it in conjunction with both us, Rutherford County, and the state of Tennessee is actually also providing some of the funding for it. I tell people all the time, construction, if you can just get through the headache with it, just bear with me. We try to get in, build it as quickly as we can, and then get out. This is about a 2-year project, especially with the bridge, as long as it is, but it's really just a massive project. But we're excited about it and ready to move forward with it. Veterans Parkway We're actually looking to finish the last leg of that, which will make our route all the way from 840, actually Burnt Knob Road out in the Blackman area, and we actually used to call it the Southwest Loop, but we'll extend around the southwestern portion of the town or the city, and we'll actually connect all the way to Church Street. About, I'd say 80% of it has been complete. The last leg will actually be the widening of existing Kimbrough Road from Barfield Road out to St. Andrews. About a $7 or $8 million road project is what we're anticipating, which is another large project for us. We used to build a lot smaller projects. I'd mentioned a couple $100,000 turn lane addition. I think before, when we first got started, $4 or $5 million project was just enormous to us. But those are becoming the more the norm now. But we've been very fortunate. The City Council has provided us with not only the financial resources, but also just the manpower, going out and hiring consultants, managing these jobs in-house, and then managing the construction in-house to have a very aggressive road construction schedule. We do have another road construction project. It'll be right at the front door of Middle Tennessee State University, MTSU. We'll be widening Middle Tennessee Boulevard from Main Street all the way to Greenland. This project has been in the works for quite a while. We're doing it in coordination with the state and with MTSU. Obviously themselves are very anxious to get the project underway. It'll actually be a continuation of what we started some years ago with Middle Tennessee Boulevard. You'll probably remember we used to have several different names of roads as we went all the way from Tennessee Boulevard to Sanborn Drive to Samsonite, and now that's all been renamed to Middle Tennessee Boulevard. We got the nice blue signs out there. We want that to be the focus, the gateway, if you will, into the college. It's another big project. It's going to take some time to do that. I think we have about 30 months, about 2.5 years to complete that project. And obviously, we're doing this project and still maintaining traffic to the university. Obviously, the university is not going to shut down for us. We are going to try to take advantage of maybe some lighter schedules, lighter population there on the campus during the summer months, and maybe have some closures of that section of road during the summer. We ask, of course, for everybody's patience in that. We do feel like we have some alternate routes with Rutherford Boulevard, and even going over to Highland as far as getting into the downtown area. But once we get it completed, I think we're going to have a great project, have something that the entire city can be proud of, and will serve not only the city well, but certainly the university well also. Not going to stop with just the construction ones that I've mentioned. Always looking at ways that we can make improvements around the city. The Cherry Lane improvements, the new interchange at 840 is a huge project that you're going to hear more and more about over the next several years. I like to tell people that that once we start a project with the state of Tennessee, it's about a 10-year process in order to actually to start the design, start the looking at some potential layouts of the roadway till we're actually completed with construction. If it's just a local city project, we can condense that And I'll give you, for instance, the Jarnett Lane was built in about 3 years. Whenever we saw the need for that, it took us about a year to complete the design, and then a couple of years to actually complete the construction. When you get into these larger scale projects like the Cherry Lane project that I mentioned, which will basically be a new connection on the north side of town, connecting over to a new interchange at 840, and then connecting on to Broad Street to kind of open up that corridor where we're seeing now Thompson Lane is carrying such a heavy portion of that load. Projects like that where you have a lot of environmental studies going on, you're crossing the river, you have a lot of different agencies. A portion of the battlefield actually extends up into near there. Those do take a little bit longer. Braideville Pike is a project that we actually just met this week and looking at some conceptual layouts of the road improvements there. That'll extend from Broad Street out to Rutherford Boulevard. Really a mix of land use out there. It goes from you've got your multifamily, got some apartment complexes there at the first of the project there near Broad, and some single-family residence. You go through kind of a commercial area, and then back into a residential area, and then actually back in, you actually go into a little bit more of a commercial area, a commercial node again. So that's an exciting project for us to kind of connect all of those different, land uses, and to give some folks some different options on that. Everybody thinks they always want to jump in the car and drive in, but we're also looking at bike lanes for possibly for that section of roadway, and certainly looking at sidewalks to give a pedestrian connection to the residential and back to the commercial. Again, that's a project just now starting, so it's a project that's ongoing with the state. So it'll be about a 10-year project with that also from start to finish. Another project that the state is actually just started, and I mentioned Thompson Lane earlier, but the widening of Thompson Lane from Broad Street all the way to Memorial Boulevard. The state is actually looking for taking proposals for a consultant on that project. Really see the need on the north side of town with Memorial Boulevard and the traffic that it has, the Thompson Lane, how it's backing up, especially when you get up through the Haynes Drive area, and then when you get on around to the Siegel School complex. Really, we want to try to give a relief to some of the motorists up in that area also. Everyone's anxiously looking forward to our Broad Memorial project that the state is that we're doing completing in conjunction with the state. Should start later this summer. Probably late summer to early fall, just by the time they get their bids in and the contract. It's going to be a huge endeavor for both us and for the state and for TDOT. Right now we're working with the utilities, working on the aesthetics of it. We're dropping this bridge right downtown, right in the heart of Murfreesboro. And the state's been very good to work with us on that as far as improving the aesthetics of it. Looking for not only for landscaping but hardscape. Looking for a little bit more decorative type bridge or decorative type retaining walls. Like I said, the state's been great to work with on us on that. Been working with the utilities, a lot of utilities there, and it's our goal to take all of those utilities underground and to improve the look of the Broad Memorial area. It's going to take patience. I'm already game planning the way I'll get to work. Because it seems like anywhere you go in Murfreesboro, you have to go through that intersection. But we encourage, obviously, folks to look at alternate routes during the construction. Plan on keeping the roads open the entire time. There won't be any type of shutdown, but there certainly will be lane reductions.
The engineering department has seen a substantial increase in activity with new developments, not to mention its work on the Stormwater Capital Improvement Plan. Making sure projects under the plan stay on track is City Environmental Engineer Sam Huddleston.
Our department's been very busy for about the past 6 months. We've seen really an increase in the number of projects that have come through the doors. We're currently working on the Stormwater Capital Improvements Plan for the next 5 years. We've programmed about 22 projects in there. That's about $11 million. It's a lot of spending. Those projects generally fall into 5 categories. We're looking at some neighborhood drainage projects, some stormwater quality projects. We're also looking at some joint projects with other city projects like the West Murfreesboro Elementary School, the Hobgood School expansion, some Parks and Recs projects that we're looking to participate with the stormwater funds. We also have some public roads and drainage projects that'll be programmed into that fund. And then we also have a couple of private joint projects, and it's an exciting time for the stormwater program. And we'll be presenting those projects to the Water and Sewer Board and the City Council for their consideration. And that'll be a game plan for us over the next 5 years for our major projects. And we're spending about $250,000 a year on really drainage maintenance projects. You'll see some of our crews out perhaps surveying or perhaps cleaning out ditches, getting some things back in order that just need maintenance. And those projects are primarily done out of the engineering department and the street department. And those are mostly neighborhood projects, fairly minor projects as compared to the $11 million we talked about for our major projects. And those are in areas that we've discovered through either staff work or calls from the neighborhoods. And we're also trying to avoid areas, we're trying to improve areas where there's a history of property damage, you know, water and heat and air units, water in houses. That certainly rises to the occasion of something we'd be interested in. Our staff deals with several calls per week, and we call them drainage inquiries or drainage complaints. And so we hear from the public about where they live, about perceived drainage projects or drainage problems in their neighborhoods. And we take those very serious because they do see it 24/7. And so we rely on those calls, we rely on those inquiries to help us focus some of our drainage maintenance efforts. And if anyone has a concern, they can certainly call our office at 893-6441 and tell the person who answers the phone that you have a drainage inquiry or a drainage complaint, and we'll follow up on each one of those. Well, the engineering department, we're made up of the city engineer. We have two engineers on staff, and then we have project coordinators also on staff, and then we have public works inspectors. And the inquiries can come in at any level, but we rely primarily on our project coordinators and our public works inspectors to actually go out and investigate a drainage complaint or other types of complaints. And then we can use city resources to city staff to get those done. We can also use outside engineers, outside contractors and surveyors to help us when there are major projects or maybe more workload than our office staff can take care of. You know, the City of Murfreesboro has a goal of improving the quality of life in our city. And if there are problems with a drainage system at a home or in a neighborhood, and we can come out and take care of that, that certainly helps the quality of life for that family or for that neighborhood right where they live. We also have a goal of helping reduce property loss and property damage due to flooding. Sometimes we think of flooding as a creek or a river out of bank, but there are many more calls and there are many more property damage claims that come from what we would call local drainage system flooding, where a local drainage system has malfunctioned, it's become clogged, is undersized, and those sorts of things. And so we want to help reduce those property losses. And so it is important to us. It's a very high priority for our department. It's a very high priority for our floodplain management program. And we actually get good grades for that from FEMA, that's the Federal Emergency Management Agency, when we help reduce those property losses due to flooding. In the last 6 months, we've seen about 70 new site plan projects. We've seen for example, a new Walmart proposed on Memorial Boulevard. We've seen an expansion at Johnson Controls on Beloy Lane. We've also seen an expansion and modification for Nissan exporting on Single Road, which is off of Northwest Broad Street in the Florence area. We've also had several apartment complexes to come through our office for plans review. And that's on the site plan side. On the residential subdivision side, we've seen about 25 new subdivisions proposed in the last 6 months. And that would put us in the neighborhood of 150 new residential lots. So we've really seen an increase in the demand for new residential construction. For the last 6 months, our Building and Codes Department has issued over 250 new permits. And so we see a real increase in the demand for new residential construction. There's something we have added in our department. We review now, an engineer staff member reviews every application for a residential building permit. And that's something we've added in the last few months. It's increased our workload a little bit, but it also helps us head off problems on residential construction and make sure that, especially in areas that are what we would call critical lots, perhaps in a floodplain, and we want to make sure that the builder gets started on the right foot. And so we've been reviewing each one of those residential permits as they come through our office. Something that's really helped us identify some conflicts and problems on the front end, rather than dealing with it during the construction process or perhaps after the home is constructed. Well, we say that the planning and engineering department is the front door to development for the City of Murfreesboro. And so normally projects start by coming into our office for preliminary meetings and those sorts of things. But we also have staff that follow those projects all the way through plans review, permitting, inspection, and then actually turning those over for occupation. We're really the planning and engineering department for other departments in the city. So we work very closely with the water and sewer department, city schools, police and fire, the Parks and Recs department. We give them engineering assistance and oversight in their projects, and we also do some work with the airport and help them in implementing some of their plans. Well, we do certainly take an interest in the welfare of our residents, and we get lots of calls, lots of inquiries, lots of visits to our office. So I'd encourage any of the residents who have questions about projects, about drainage, about things going on in the neighborhood or in the community to give our office a call. We'll try to be helpful and answer questions for them and make sure that they're comfortable with the things that are going on in our community.
I'm thrilled to be part of what I consider the best department for the City of Murfreesboro. It's a group of folks that are eager to help. Not only help the city as a whole by these massive construction projects and helping with the transportation and the drainage system, but they're anxious to, they talk with individual residents every day. Feel free to call our department, 615-893-6441. Ask for me, ask for Sam Huddleston, ask for anyone in our department, and they're more than, that's what we're here for. We're here to really meet the needs of the residents of Murfreesboro.